All right, all right, all right. Let's get this going here. Okay, let's get my mic is kind of acting a little squirrely here. Let's get this going. All right, so there we go. Okay. My nose is not helping out today. We are having a bad nose day. So I've got my sketch over here. Called Stumblin. I kind of like the 2-3, the format I did with the POV floof. I had 2, and then I had 3, and then I had the Granny Bear, and but right now I have 3, 2, and then I think 1, 2, 3 is more appropriate. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do, make sure my 2, because I think it would be good to highlight these first 2 frames with the text that I'm gonna do. It's bigger. And then those are probably not quite as evenly spaced as I would like them to be. Oh, hey, look, I actually did it right. All right, what do you know? Oops. I need to leave some room for text. And I kind of need to make that a little bigger. I gotta make sure. So the original quote I have that I'm working on is, "If you stumble, turn it into a dance." So I want to not parody it, but I want to, because okay, I think I got it. Oh my God, can I not write today? turn it into a dance. If you stumble, don't lose heart. Move on. And turn it into a dance. I like that, and turn it into a dance. So don't lose heart, floof on, and turn it into a dance. And then I have, so there's going to be the stone here, and we're going to do a hop. And that's going to be a little bit smaller probably because we're going to focus on the, oh no, we're going to have an oh no today. Oh no. And floof is going to be like, what am I doing? And then we're gonna do a spin. I'm gonna do a pirouette. And then a bow. And then we're gonna have, hey Mac, welcome to the stream. Yeah, I do all of my comics in Illustrator. And well, actually, technically, if we're being 100%, I do them old school in my notebook first, just a rough guide, and I do some writing, and then I take them into Illustrator. It makes it really easy to export them to different uses. So like I'll do prints, I'll do at the end of, well, not at the end of the year, but like once I have about a year's worth of comics built up, I compile them all into a print version, and this is my most recent one, volume 5. And so but yeah, and it makes it super easy, especially if I need to not redo the layout, but adjust it a little bit, because the print format, it handles these kind of shorter 4-panel comics really well. But the longer ones, I sometimes have to, like in this one, this is a good example. This one was a 3-2, like this is set up, except it was reversed. It was 3-2 and then a larger kind of establishing shot. These don't fare as well all on one page. The text gets really small. So what I do is I go in and I take my panels and I move them around, place them a little bit better to be on a 1-up. You know, sometimes I'll take them out and blow certain panels up, and then I'll take the last piece, which is effectively what's down here, and just do that as a single print on one side of the page. And it really is easy to do that because of how I set it up and lay it out. Actually, let me open up to cancel. Let me open up. Where are you? This is Tuesday's comic. So this is a look at how it's finished. And so what I do is I have all of my frames grouped separately, so I can move them around, rearrange them really easily. And that is especially advantageous when it comes to layout for Instagram, which is this right here. Well, and also TikTok. So what I do is this layout is the first one I work on. It is effectively my print layout and my one-page layout that I would use on Twitter and Facebook and also post on my website. So that is that layout right there. And then once I have that done, I separate it out into artboards right here. And just one artboard per frame. It works pretty well that way. And if I have a seamless swipe that I want to do, what I'll do is I'll abut these, 2 frames, and it'll be seamless and export beautifully. and I use the file export as over here, and then use artboards, and it automatically does it for me. And I don't have to worry about clicking on an artboard and, you know, nudging it accidentally by a you know, a pixel, because I had that happen early on, and that was frustrating. So I was like, okay, there's got to be a better way, and there is. But that's a look at how a finished one is set up for me. And for Instagram and TikTok, I don't know what the limit for a carousel is on TikTok, but I base it, I know they've extended it to 20 frames on Instagram, but only if you post from your phone and the app. If you're scheduling it, which is what I do for comics, it's still a 10 limit, so I try to keep them limited to 10. And then I say the last one or two if I can swing it for call to action here. And then these guys I have in my library, and I just drag them out. I've got a couple of different ones for my plushies. And then I change this guy, which is my seasonal call to action, every quarter. So I do a fall, winter, spring, summer version. And this is this year's winter version. But yeah, so that's how it kind of works really well for me. And then I can also, if I want to use some of these for stickers or daily posts, it again is really easy to go in there and use the frame, because I have everything separate. I even have the frame separate from the background, so it can lay on top and effectively clean up the edges. And I jump in, and then here's my actual line art and color all in one section. And then on this, what I do, let's see, I've got a big floof, got 2 10s. Very happy. This one's like, look at you, I can't believe what I'm looking at. And this one is, I am so proud of you. Like, thank you very much. I actually might not need all of this space, but I'm going to keep it for now. So I tend this will be, it's not going to be seamless swipe, I don't think, unless, it may be. Alright, so what I do now is, let's group it. And so what this is, I find that it's a lot easier for me to do this rough sketch, so I can free up myself to just focus on each individual frame. If I'm drawing it as I am going along, then I'm, you know, still trying, oh, I've got to, you know, this frame 5 frames later, I want to have this specific thing here. So if I put this down and make a little note, like a crib sheet, it frees me to forget about what's going on down here and just focus here. Because I've got my notes, I'm not going to forget it, and we can start lining. And what I do also is I draw each frame for each comic for each comic. Actually, I don't have set assets that I just drag out and use. I know it would save time, but I found that when I tried that, I was going in and dinking around with these frame assets anyway. So it was actually more time saving for me to just draw them fresh. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Draw them fresh each time. And then I do that, and let's bring these guys down. Go. And I'm gonna get these guys in gonna, there we go, because I didn't quite have them and they weren't quite centered either. So now they are. And now I can ungroup those. And now I've got my frame set up. So here we go. Let's get Stumblin. Go. Really? Okay. There we go. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and take care of my text right now too, just so I can focus on actually. I think I'm going to move Don't Lose Heart over. I'm going to put the first set as, I was going to originally just have If You Stumble. Oh, let me see how it looks. Stumble, Don't Lose Heart. Blue Fawn. Oop. Blue Fawn. And even though I can't read it, I'm going to put the last bit of text in here. Dot, dot, dot. And turn it into this. I'm going to have to readjust all these frames. I am really not going to need all this room that I've mapped out. And what I'm also going to do is I'm going to drop everything else down so I can see. There we go. Boop, boop. If you stumble, don't lose heart. Floof on. Hop. And turn it into a dance. Now we can get to the fun part. I'm going to go ahead and group. This is going to be a little bit. Like that. 30%. We're going to do, actually, I'm going to probably do all of this at 30%. Let's revise. of a light on that stone. Don't quite like the top on this stone that I did though. So let's come in here and I'm gonna redo. We're gonna redo it. A pretty big stone though. I feel like Floof should have seen it, but you know what? It's okay. I'm gonna do a little bit of a on it, but we can probably save that for later. And I'm gonna have a shadow here too. All right. Play with that where his face is gonna be. I'm gonna draw, because I have to reposition him. I need to make him feel off balance. Catherine, hello! Welcome to the stream. How are you doing today? Could do something like that. I kind of feel like the other one was better. That was a better owner. He did say that. We can do this one. Oh, that's a good one. Wait a minute. I like that one too. Oh no. The choice of a face. It's like a... I like that one too. Maybe I'll do a flappity flappy. All right. let's get this figured out. I also need to do an emphasis on the stone here. Oh, don't inhale water. Told myself specifically not to inhale water, and it's exactly what I did. There we go. Alright. Could make this smaller. I could make it a... I don't like the long one. Alright. I've got many face options. Little foot. Do that like he's doing his flappy arms. I feel like these arms need to move out a little bit because he's trying his best to. I feel like this arm is a little too big. Let's try that one. And now my line is too thin. Let's see how this looks. When I erase, really? There we go. Same thing here. And let's erase the arm for maximum flappity flappage. Alright, I think I can erase the rest of this. I need to make my point size a little smaller here. Ooh, 6. Flappity flappity. No. It's going to be a small, oh no. Oh no. Okay. Oh no. That one, it's reaching to his ears. And that one's really like, oh god. Let's make it a little smaller so it's not quite, oh, wait a minute, I like that one. That reminds, so this face really reminds me of Kermit the Frog when he's frustrated. And that was one of my favorite expressions of Kermit the Frog. When he kind of would like, he just, his nose would point down and he'd have this grimace. It was just the best. That was always my favorite Kermit expression. I am. Oh, that one's good too. Darn it, if I make it bigger. I think I'm gonna have to think on this expression a little bit. I'm not 100% certain which I want to go for, but I like them all. I'm going to leave those there. This is going to, oops. This is going to be the tricky one because I have to show him doing a hop in a land. It's just rolling with it. I've got to make sure I keep my... What if I need to go in here? Let me just go in here. And I'm gonna move that out of the way. I'm gonna grab my rock so I can have the same rock. Grab that, and I'll grab this, and I'll grab this. Grab that. And I'm gonna move this back into position. Oh, I didn't copy it. Root. We did not copy. Oh, now we're back in line. And just scooch that. Oops. Or on this one. So now I'm going to draw the landscape here because he's hopping a little bit down the road. He's like bloop over here. Make a couple of less I'm really messing up on this. There we go. I don't have to make it exact, but I have to. He's going to be here. And it's going to be a hop. And he's going to be like, I did it. Or now what? Help myself see this. So we have a little kind of some bumps in this road, but he's going to be blocking it right here. So Dee, hello, welcome to the stream. I hope you're doing well too. I wrote this one, let me see, last week. I had like a nice big old brainstorm session. And actually this was the writing for one of, yeah, that was the Habit one that I did for Pudge. I actually started out with a much longer comic and I had to pare it down to just the 4. And then I mapped out the POV. What if Coco put a body cam on mouth? GB and Boop watching the live stream. But yeah, so I wrote that one out last week. Always good to have a brainstorming session. Well, I'm glad you're practicing. Always good to practice. I'm going to draw all of this landscape. easier to draw it and erase it than to have to fill it in later and make it look natural. I know mouth is going to be over here. I don't like how that's looking, so we're going to erase it and we're going to try again. 15. Erase that little bumper. There you go. So it looks like my grass is just kind of flooping out onto the road. I like that. I like the swoosh. I'm just gonna keep that because he's just. And then I'm gonna have a pew, and he lands. Sound effects are very important. I actually don't know how you draw out sound effects. Alright, let's take and bump some of this down because we don't need it all. And I kind of want to make this little piece of road look less like just a very solid line. I want to break it up a little more. Yesterday was a big concept art day. I was working on a client project for a new mini golf course, which is exciting. This one was well, I'd been working on it for a couple days actually. This one presented a unique problem in that it needed to be, so usually when I design it's a permanent installation. They literally, they build up the ground and sculpt whatever out they need to. And this one is a completely removable course that will be kind of fit together like a puzzle. And the pad that it's going on is a multi-use. So like for part of the year they put, like wintertime, Christmas time, they put in this temporary ice rink, which I think is cool. I never knew those existed, but apparently they do. And so they put in a temporary ice rink, and this course, this mini course, is for the rest of the year. And so yeah, that was a unique puzzle because I have to think my way around all of these items need to be removable, packable, and also with the planters and kind of ancillary props and stuff like that. They need to be able to be removed, stored, taken out. And so I, like for landscaping, I was working in pot-based plants, and I had a certain square that I had to operate in as far as the maximum width of the hole. And it also is apparently the pathways connecting the holes are also break apart. So it was a very interesting one, and I hope they like what I did. I'll find out more on Friday. Hopefully on Friday. But yeah, so that was pretty cool. And I had my music going. That's one thing I miss about OG Twitch was, well, before they kind of brought the hammer down on using your own music, like I would have oldies playlists and all these different playlists that I would, I put time into picking, you know, what playlist I wanted to have on during stream. And when they brought the gavel down and said, no, you cannot do that anymore, you have to use royalty-free music, it made me a little sad. I guess I could still use it if I took down, I think you can, but you have to take down the replay. You can't have it for a VOD later. I'm gonna have this, and I'm gonna move this whole stuff up because I've got a lot of this here. And it might actually, let's just move that up and see how it looks. Because if I need to, yeah, I think that might be good to have a little bit more. And I could possibly come in here and make the hop more exaggerated. That gives me more room for my floof to actually show up on the screen, not scrunching him down into the corner. And then I need to probably edit this road. It's gonna be there. Right, now I'm going to group this guy so I can focus on just this character. And let's get the gesture of this right. It's going to be about the same here, but I want the gesture to be like he has landed, like a figure skater has just landed a jump. So we're going to have a little bit more turn in the back, and that's kind of looking like a foot and not a floof. So let's try this again. I need to have more arch in the back. Almost. I've got enough booty. Got enough booty, I need a little more belly. Is that better? Just draw a forward line here. Is that too much belly? This smaller. Pew, pew. Pew, pew. Whoops. Needs to be pew, pew. Pew, pew, pew. Pew, pew. Oh. So I want to have a beautiful cursive land. Sparkly. I'm gonna make it sparkly. All right, is that enough belly or should I remove some belly? All right, let's just see what this looks like with, oh, speaking of belly, big stretch. How do you have your toe pointed like that, Bean? It's pointed. She has her paw like just completely, but the end of it is like this. Oh, and she's still holding on to it. So the leg is like, but then her and she does that like so much belly. And sometimes she does the tootsies out like that. I should do that. But then she gets stuck. All right, let's get this, the landing. I need to have the kind of like the shoot out from the place where the foot is landing. So I need to angle it maybe, or maybe even do this. Make it a little smaller. Boop, boop, boop. Although that almost makes me feel like the landing was like an ouch, like a hurt. I'm going back on that. Let me just... And I'm gonna group the sparkly landing. Boop. There we go. Boop. And I'm gonna do some heavy shadowing. All right, so now I can fill in. I'm gonna refine the hop and the little swoosh. I'm gonna refine that a little bit. What bit? Maybe I should do like. Maybe I should do. And do a nice light hop. Could do a. What's going on here? Show bounding box. Oh, wait. There we go. Does not look like I grouped anything. Way to go, me, for not grouping anything. All right, so let's fix that. Let's group the things we want to keep. Definitely want to keep that. So now I can get rid of hop. Sketchy hop. And I can view. Action without. That looks more like a leap though, as opposed to a hop. A hop is lower and short. That is more like a leap. What if I do a leap? How would you be in a position to make a leap if you're about to fall because your center of gravity is probably kind of shifting around? Maybe this exclamation point is too tall. Let's make this hop a little less long. I feel like if the hop is short and cute, then the hop will be short and cute. And now hop is not looking like a word anymore. That's a cuter exclamation point. Okay. Okay. Hop. I feel like the lower, this is more of a leap. This is a grand leap. This is not a hop. A hop is like bloop, bloop. But on the other hand, this is a far greater distance than a hop would be. I'm thinking about this way too much. I move him up here like this. That could work. Hop would be like here. And that's kind of where I originally had him. Then my landing text is lost. So let's move this over. And let's okay, I think I know what I'm gonna do. We're gonna move you over. And we're gonna move you over. And we're gonna move you even further over. This over. Keep on moving all of my... Okay. And let's just shorten this. Delete that. And let's adjust this. We need to adjust, or do we need to remove? We need to remove, I think. A tiny bit there. And all of this is going to be erased. But let me make sure that I want it to be. I don't know if I want to. Oops. Really? All right. I'm going to remove my sketch so I can see everything without interruption. Up. Sketch. All right. Let's see how that looks. You stumble, don't lose heart. Move on. Turn into a dance. I think I'm going to add some text. I'm going to leave this outer bit of landscaping and environment because I might change it again. And I need to think about this frame. So we are going to think about that frame. This frame I'm pretty cool with. I will probably move it up. I like that a little bit better. And then I am faced with this problem here because the landscape looks entirely different than what I've drawn in the other frame. So that was a problem. What I need to do is come in here and try and make it look sort of similar. And I'm going to move out these extra mouths. Let's see it without extra mouths. Actually, let me just... I'm going to be able to figure out. I'm going to have to just make a decision and save it and end it because I like all of those expressions. Now I get to draw flute dancing, which is exciting. And he's going to sweep down this way. Sweep. The sweeping motion, but I fear that it might be... Ugh, I'm not grouped. Go. %. We're going to redraw that because it does not look nice. Let's see. Don't need that body line anymore. Floof is feeling it and is now I think I'm gonna be bold and erase that which falls in the swoop or the swoop, however you want to. It's all right. This is going to be a fun one because I have to do a spinning floof, which is going to be interesting. Oh. How are we going to do a spinning floof? Figure this out here. We're going to spin, spin, spin to win. And I think I'm going to go ahead and go with full opacity whiskers and then maybe like some partial opacity whiskers. This is going to be interesting. I'm not sure if this is going to work how I want it to work, but we're going to try it. Tell me you don't trust your drawing skills without telling me you don't trust your drawing skills. So in this case, it would be communication because I'm trying to communicate a spin and I'm not sure if I'm actually communicating this spin or not. And this poof needs to be on more tippy toes. Tippy toes, like really tippy toes, tippy toes. Tippy toes. I think I need the actual twirl. I need the twirl to... So this, I think, needs to go through. Or, let's see. Or am I underthinking this? I think I'm onto something here. Hold on a second. I think I might be onto something here. Right. I think I'm going to let this spin sit for a bit. This has got to be one of the most difficult action things that I've done. How to think about illustrating motion in a static way. Ugh. All right, save. I think I've done this spin one time before when Floof was ice skating, and then it landed in a snowbank. And now I think I'll do this bow really quick, and then I'll end the stream there. Let's see, I want to do a kind of he's just bow. Perfectly intentional. And then the cheering will be at the end. Let's squinch him up a little bit. I like this one. It's like, look at you. Look at you. Okay. All right. There is autosave. It just does every 15 minutes, and sometimes it doesn't work. I've had some crashes. Well, I think recently I had a pretty severe crash that, well, it wasn't a crash, it was the power going out, and my autosave actually was pretty timely, and I didn't lose a lot. But I feel like sometimes the autosave just doesn't, you know, decide to work today, and the recovery isn't as forgiving. I'll get those little eyebrows in there. Maybe this needs to be longer. I have to work on this expression because it's not as I should. I want it to be a fancy bow. So if we are bowing fancy, we are definitely bowing in cursive. Semi-cursive. There's that. Maybe instead of the focused, I like that. Maybe with a tiny little mouth, same. Did it. Or maybe with a small smile. I like the quiet smile. Or maybe no smile. All right, there's that out of there, and then the last will be this final portion here. I don't like that. Definitely move this around. And I'll figure out that expression. But this will be moved up. This will be a single frame here. And I might bring that down in size a little bit So the text of the, let's just give everything a little bit more room to breathe. So the text of the comic, I'll go over this real quick before I log off, called Stumblin'. It says, if you stumble, don't lose heart. And you see him, oh no, he's tripping on a rock and his arms are flapping, flappy, flappy. And then he hops, floop on. He's like, uh-oh, what did I do? And then it continues, and turn that stumble into a dance. And so the floof starts sweeping his arms around, spinning, and then does a bow. And then, unbeknownst to him, he had an audience who gave his performance a 10. And so that'll be the last one that I need to draw. And I'll do that offline. This will be colored today and posting as my comic tomorrow. So if you want to see the final colored version, you can check out my website or any of my social media. I post new comics everywhere on Tuesdays and Fridays, unless, of course, I skip a day, of course. But usually that is my schedule. And but yeah, this is how it ends up. This is an example of a finished colored version with my panels for Instagram right here, and this is my single page version right here, which goes on like Twitter and Facebook and my website. This guy right down here is just my thumbnail for my website, so I can call up and have an image preview. So that's nothing, you know, specific except for that use. And but yeah, that's it for me today. Thank you so much for joining me. Let me go ahead and switch over to my ending screen. There we go. I will be back on Tuesday. If you enjoyed this comic stream, be sure to tune in again next Thursday. Every Thursday is a comic stream. Tuesdays are more of a general work day, and I'll be doing book files and kind of product related stuff on Tuesdays. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me, Catherine, D, Mac, all of my lurkers. I hope you have a great rest of your Thursday, a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you next time.